This is a video review of the 22nd Annual Ohio Bigfoot Conference and Expo. I'm doing this from the room at my room at Salt Fork State Park, the lodge. Oh, what a great weekend it was. What a terrific weekend it was. It started out Friday with the meet and greet. We got to meet several of the speakers. I actually met Larry Lund on Friday. I talked to several people. Talked to Melissa Hovey. Got to finally meet Melissa Hovey. Got to finally meet her fiance Wayne. I met Adrienne and Tina. Adrienne, Arnie, and Tina Harder. Hello, Adrienne. Hey, Tina. Good to see you, ladies. It was good. It was great to meet you. And hello, Melissa. Great to meet you too. And we had the meet and greet. The biggest surprise. I don't think anybody knew he was coming. Nobody knew he was coming. Dr. Esteban Sarmiento was here this weekend. Actually, it's Esteban Sarmiento. He was here. Nobody knew he was coming. Don didn't even know he was coming. Don was completely surprised. When I told him, we were at the meet and greet, and I was filming, all of a sudden I turn around, there's Esteban Sarmiento walking in the door. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's Esteban Sarmiento." And I went out in the lobby, and Don was coming up. He had just gotten copies of his book that he was selling at the conference. All of a sudden, I said, "Do you know Esteban Sarmiento is here?" He said, "Who?" I said, "Esteban Sarmiento, the guy who was on Legend Meets Science." Don said, "Oh yeah, the guy who analyzed the sound that I had." He said, "He's here?" I said, "Yeah, he's in there." So that was a big surprise to see Esteban Sarmiento here. It really was. Excuse me. And then let's see what happened. Friday night, I came back here and I went and got some sleep. Saturday morning, I got up and went and visited with Nancy and Bernie for a little bit. And then we went out to the picnic. They were having the lunch with Bob Gimlin. John Talltower was my date, as it were. And what a great guy he is. He's a neat guy. He's a pretty cool guy. Want to say hello to John out there. How you doing? And it was actually the luncheon was put on by Indy. Stephen Pickett and his wife Robin. And thank you very much, Indy and Robin, for your hard work. You guys did a great job. I had a great time at the picnic with Bob Gimlin. It was so much fun. We had great food, great weather. Oh, the weather was perfect. The weather was absolutely perfect. Right down there by the lake, it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. It was a great environment too. And then the conference kicked off at 4 o'clock, a little after 4. Dr. Jeff Meldrum gave the first presentation. His presentation was on the Gui Rung of Vietnam. And essentially it's based on one footprint that was found, and the footprint was cast. It was a very strange looking footprint, and he consulted with a couple of experts. He consulted with somebody who said at first that they thought it was a boot heel with a bear's front forepaw. But then they did further examination into it and they realized that was impossible, that it couldn't be that. But the only thing is, it was only one footprint. I mean, generally you would have more than one track, obviously. You would have more than one track, so it almost doesn't make a whole lot of sense to say that that the Ngui Rung exists because of one footprint. But there have been sightings. There have been sightings of the little short man of the forest in Vietnam. And he gave a really great presentation on some of the evidence and some of the sightings of the Ngui Rung in Vietnam. Really interesting stuff. Really interesting presentation. He also showed a footprint cast. You may remember the Josh Gates Destination Truth, and it had a lot of the same characteristics as the Gui Rung track. And Meldrum examined that. He said, I couldn't find anything wrong with that one. I couldn't pick it apart. So that was a really terrific presentation. He also compared a footprint that was found in China with a mid-tarsal break to the one from the Patterson-Gimlin film that was cast by Bob Titmus in 1967. And they both have the mid-tarsal break in them. I would give Meldrum's presentation a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a really enjoyable presentation. Next was Tom Yamarone singing one of his songs. I believe Roger and Bob was the first song he did. He did Roger and Bob. Wrote out that day. He did a great job as usual. Then there was part 1 of the auction. No. Yeah. No, then it was Bob Gimlin's turn. And yeah. I'm trying to remember. And then it was Bob Gimlin's turn. And you talk about getting a standing ovation, he did. He got a standing ovation from everybody in that room. All 550 of the folks that were there. Yes, 550 attended this year. So most of them were in the actual conference room itself. Some of them were out in a lobby area close to the conference room with this big screen closed circuit television operating. They were able to see the conference from there. And Bob didn't speak for very long. He spoke maybe about 15-20 minutes. Just basically talking about what happened the day of October 20th, 1967. Just, and then to hear it in person. I mean, I've heard it on the radio. I've heard it on the Willow Creek Bigfoot Symposium. Hearing it in person is a thrill. It is awesome. And he got a standing O after after the presentation. He got a standing O after the presentation. Well deserved, of course. Anyway, and then there was a Q&A session. Some folks asked him questions about October 20th, 1967. I actually asked him about Hieronymus. I said, is it true that you and Hieronymus are friends? Despite the fact that he says that he's the guy in the suit. And he said, well, I still talk to him. He told me, he said, I still talk to Bob Hieronymus, but we are not friends. Well, can you blame him after all the crap that Hieronymus has put him through? I sure can't. And then there was the first part of the auction. I won a few items. I didn't win every single item this year, by the way. I was very restrained this year. And somebody complimented me on that. I think it was JC. I believe it was JC, or maybe it may have been Eric Altman. Might have been Bruce that complimented me about that. But anyhow, then there was the dinner break. We had the dinner break, and just tremendous time was had by all. And then after the dinner break, actually after the dinner break, Tom Yamarone did the song John Green, we did a great job on it, and we were missing our auctioneer, so Don had to kind of BS a little bit. Had to wait for Mark DeWorth to get back. But anyway, what he did, Don went on ahead and just let John Horgan come up. Gimlin's presentation, 5 out of 5 stars, as always, of course. To hear him talk about October 20th, 1967, and the events of that day was just tremendous.